Welcome, guys, to Metallurium Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Marche, Funèbre, this new album, After the Storm, and more things related to the metal world in general. So we start by asking, how are you doing today? How is the band? How was the band during the last, or how were the band during the last couple of years?
Well, I worked all day. It's 5 p.m. here. And now we're preparing our album launch, which is due tomorrow, 27th of September. And on the 28th, we have our festival where we do the album presentation. It's called the Dark in the Moon Festival, and we have 6 bands with us headliner Tiamat from Sweden, who's going to play an old school set. So we're very psyched about that. We have another show planned on Sunday with Officium Triste as well. So yeah, we are totally ready to unleash this new beast of ours. It's been a while in the making. We started the recordings quite a long time ago, but let's not go there yet.
Okay. So talking about from this After the Storm, when do you start writing songs for this new album? Are all the songs new, or do you rescue any compositions that were left out of the previous albums, or for the first one? Oh, who knows?
No, we didn't salvage any older songs for that were meant for previous albums. It's not how we work. But we started writing a while ago because COVID happened, of course. So I think the first song we wrote, or the beginning,
Okay.
um, yeah, we started writing in COVID period, which wasn't the easiest thing. So it's been quite a while since we laid the first hand on the first or one of the first songs for this album. I think it was 2021 or maybe in 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started writing the beginning of Stranded. That it took quite some time to get all the songs done because rehearsing in the COVID and the pandemic period wasn't that easy. Yeah. So I think when we start writing in a more definite flow, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it's after the last or the previous to last lockdown we had here. We had several lockdowns, but I think
Yeah.
21 summer-ish. I think you can say it was the start of the songwriting, and we ended the writing last year in June. Um, I remember we sat together. I think we had like 6 songs written, or maybe even more, in January last year,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
we were like, okay, shall we round up here and start pre-production, or shall we continue writing until summertime comes? And we eventually decided to continue writing. So we had way too much material actually, um, which means that we could, yeah, well, have like a very focused album with all the songs that didn't fit, or that were not where we're not 100% happy with, that we could just put them on the shelf, or we recorded also some songs for an EP next year that didn't fit the album for various reasons. So yeah we were busy all the time actually, because writing songs in our case means we play them together until they're feel good for everyone. So that's quite a task, because we're all, we all know what we want, certainly after so many years. And even if the smallest detail doesn't work for someone, we work around it until it works. I think like 2 albums ago, we would have probably said, yeah, it's fine. And now we're more into the details because, yeah, all the years we worked together brought us here.
Okay, interesting to know. So I also saw the March Funèbre is still working also with songs, new songs, albums, because your previous one released in 2020, and now 4 years later we have this new album. So are you always working on a new music, or do you prefer to focus it once you finish touring, promote the last album? So for you, how do you decide when it's time to work on a new songs or a new album?
I think when we start, we're constantly eager to write new songs. But of course, it's finding the balance between writing new songs and preparing for the next shows. And what mostly happens is when we have enough songs written for a new album, we start pre-production, we start recording process, and afterwards we promote it and we do quite some gigs. So we for old songs, but as soon as we find the time to start writing new stuff, we start writing new stuff. The same happened now. We already started working on the next song for the next album, and we have some more inspiration of our sheets. So I can't wait to start with that. But I guess that will be something for the beginning of October when we start again with some new stuff.
Yeah, I think we have always multiple things going on. We have the writing process, but there's always shows. There is since July last year, we were constantly working on the new album with recording sessions in the studio, pre-production, chisel, mixing. So actually, for us, the album was finished in January. So afterwards, we had to look for a new guitar player as well, because our founding member Peter and the other guitar player next to Kurt, he left the band after we finished the album, and so we had to find another guy, which took some time as well. You don't want to take the first guy that just passes by, so he had to be a good fit. But I think we have a good fit here, so that's already good. So yeah, well, and then there is this time where the album is finished and you're still working on artwork and label stuff, but that's things that happen not at the rehearsal place, of course. So yeah, then we can start writing new songs. So that's actually what we already did, and we did that in the past as well. I remember when we finished writing the third album, Into the Arms of Darkness. It was recorded in April 2016, and we only could release it in the beginning of 2017. So we wrote a bunch of songs afterwards. Some of them came on an EP, others came on the previous album. So yeah, you could say we are always creative. Always, there is not a day passes by without working for the band, answering mails, looking for gigs, working on merchandise. It's more than just a little bit of time somewhere in the evening when we rehearse,
Okay.
It's a full-time hobby.
Full-time hobby, check.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about this new release compared to your previous one, which came out during a difficult time due to the pandemic?
Well,
Anyone want to start?
Yeah. I think the biggest difference for us is not really the pandemic or not, but it's more that we did a different recording process this time. The last album was recorded in the same manner as the EP before, as the album before, as the EP before. So we had like a way of working that worked for many years with Marcus from Imperium. But due to logistical reasons, we chose another producer this time. So we stayed closer to home, and we worked with Martin Furia from now guitar player from Destruction and other bands. And I think that's the biggest difference, actually. Next to that, the fact that we had more material than we would use on the album, so we had more, like I said before, focused album with less side steps, like the previous album where we had a lot of different styles at the same place sometimes.
Okay.
It's more focused indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually many bands say that the last album is the best work to date. each also said each one is special in its own way, each album that you produce. So what makes this album special to you, and what it is bringing us musically and lyrically for you?
Yeah.
What makes it special for me, because I think it's something personal. I think if you ask Arne or if you ask me or Dennis or Boris, we will all have different
Opinions.
views on it. I think for me, yeah, the production made a big difference for me. The writing process it felt a bit different as well, but we got there with the five of us. I think the main thing is, of course, it's the last creative process with Peter. Peter is one of the founding members, so in that aspect, what makes it special to me and maybe all of us is that it's like almost the final thing that Peter, the five of us, did together, and he played such a big role in the band for 15, 16 years. And when he said goodbye, it was it was really a huge thing for us. So
Yeah.
that makes it
Yeah.
really special.
Yeah, for me too. This is like Peter's last work with us, and in a way, I think we all approached it because he said he would leave the band just like 1 week before we would start recording. So we all knew, okay, this is going to be the last thing we do together. Let's make it special. And I think his guitar work on the recordings, because the songs didn't really change a lot in the recording process, but he added so much extra details and layers. And just I remember Martin saying, yeah, this part could have like a harmony. Just took the guitar, it played it without thinking, and it just sounded perfect. And he didn't even have to redo it because it was perfect. And that's the biggest issue here for us as a band. We are a new band now because the guy who made our sounds left to pursue other things in life. There's no bad blood whatsoever. That's the biggest thing. Also, when you talk about the lyrics, this was the first album I was completely in charge of lyrics. Usually Peter came up with some lyrics as well, or some lyrical ideas from deceased poets. But this time it was all me, and what I missed the last two albums was the very, very personal touch in the writing. I think it was also a COVID thing, because I at this moment I don't feel like I need this in music, but during COVID I was writing lyrics and really wanted them to be personal. So this is a very personal album in regards to the lyrics for me as well. And I think it shows. But yeah, well, that's just me, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in this case, how do you choose the name of your album after the storm? It is a random, or do you try to convey something that encompasses the concept of the entire album lyrically and musically?
Well, I remember having a conversation about this actually when we were for the last time far away from home with the original lineup last year in Slovakia. We were playing a festival with Mefarash and Belfegor and some other cool bands. And we were sitting the next morning, or I think we were waiting somewhere. And I was like, okay, guys, we still need an album title. And there was a lot of brainstorming. Usually I come up with an idea, but this time, it was a bit hard finding one. And then, in the end, we were like, okay, After the Storm captures the essence, because it's like most songs are about a breakup. And in hindsight, it's cool that's about the breakup, because it's also a breakup with our guitar player. So So it's very cool that this is the main theme. So, and the After the Storm lyric and the song were written afterwards. And yeah, in a way, After the Storm doesn't sound really original. So we were looking for something more special, like the previous albums. But in the end, it's just catchy, and it captures the essence. And we didn't find anything else that worked better. So I think we all were happy that in the end it became After the Storm. And then we went looking for the artwork that would fit, etc. So yeah, not sure if Kurt wants to add something.
No, you remember those things much better than me. So
yeah, I drink less beer when we're gone.
yes, that's true.
Okay. So, how do you feel the reception of your fans to this new album has been so far? Because I saw that they already are a lot of review posted in your social media and in different medias. So, what have been the reviews been like? Do you usually read reviews or criticisms that are uploaded online? And how do you take it?
Well, yeah, we had a bunch of reviews that were the first ones that came in were all raving. Now, a few of them came in that said, yeah, it's good, but it's not special. But it's all fine. I mean, it's personal opinion of the reviewer. And I like the fact that people from all around the world took the time to investigate. Of course, it's not for everyone. What we're really looking out for is the reception of the fans. With yeah, they could only listen to it since yesterday evening when the album premiere was on No Clean Singing website. So well, but I think everyone had heard it. Yeah, nobody gave actually any bad word about it. So I think we succeeded in writing a very good album and one that, well, will stand hopefully the what do you say
Test
the
of time.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we did get quite some good reactions as well on the video we did for After the
Yeah.
Storm, the song,
And in the
which
haze.
was tremendous. We got really a lot of people listening or
Reacting.
watching the
Yeah.
song, reacting to it. With In the Haze, which was just a lyric video, also quite some reaction. So I can confirm what Arne says. I'm really looking forward to get your reactions on the other songs.
Also
Because
live.
there are still four. Yeah, also live because there are still four songs that the fans haven't heard of. So we teased them with two songs, and those reactions were good. So it's always nice to get positive comments, of course, but we never write music to please other people. We write music what we feel that suits us as a band and what we feel good about. And when people like it, it's really cool. It's really fun because it's something that we create and other people like it. But for me personally, if someone really does not like our music, it's indeed it's taste as well. And after all, we do play doom metal music. So I think there are more people in the world who don't like doom metal than there are who do like it. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think after all these years, it's like year 16 that we're doing this. We know that we are able to, to write stuff that can be liked by other people. But of course, we're the biggest critics ourselves. So if the five of us like what we're doing, then probably more people will like it because we all have a very different taste in general. So it's yeah, it's never easy to please everyone in the band, which is a good thing because makes it harder for us to write a good song that everybody in the band likes. But if we're done writing this song, a lot of people might like it. Yeah,
Mhm.
if you
Okay,
catch
okay.
what I mean.
Okay, we are very close to this interview, guys. And for this, what kind of plans do you have to promote this new album? Obviously, you will embark some tours, gigs there, or perhaps you will present more videos. Who knows? Or perhaps you already working on a new album. Who knows? What kind of plans do you have for this After the Storm and Marche Funèbre?
Well, we have, like I said earlier, we have some gigs planned this weekend to celebrate the release with some bigger bands. So a big crowd will be expected. We have some more gigs planned in fall and winter and even spring. We hope to do some festivals next year as well, but we're a small band, so it's not easy to get those slots, but we're hopeful. Next to that, we are working actually a little bit on an EP for next year. We already recorded the 2 songs in the recording sessions of After the Storm. We actually recorded 8 songs. Only 6 are on the album, so 2 are leftovers, but not because they're bad, but because we thought they would fit better on a separate release. So we are thinking on how we can make this separate release a bit more interesting with like live songs. So we're recording a lot of shows, and we might even have something we never did before on the EP, just to try some stuff. Because our new guitar player, he's not only a guitar player, he also plays piano. So we might do something with that. That's the perfect thing, EPs are great for trying out new stuff, I think, or different stuff. So that's the plans for like between now and a year. We also have a lot of merchandise that we hope to sell on these shows. We even have a special vinyl only for us. Like our label has an orange and a black vinyl, and we have a blue swirl one that we will only sell on shows. So that will be a collector's item, perhaps. We have new T-shirts, new hoodies. So yeah, we're definitely a band that wants to go outside and see our fans and make new fans and friends all over the place. So if you want to book us, you know where to find us.
Okay. Okay. You've been around for more than 10 years. You already have 5 albums, including this new one. Obviously, you have a new small productions, EP, singles. So you will be accomplished in 4 years more, 20 years of existence. So, what inspires you to create new music and a bet on a new releases in a digital age where you have hundreds of bands releasing albums every weekend now? I think more than 50 albums per weekend. That's impossible to follow. So there's a lot of competition in a lot of way. In a lot of way, that's normally. So, do you feel like you have to compete with a lot of bands? And
Well, I don't think so. Akirta, I think he already said so. We do this for ourselves. We get live shows, so that means we get treatment by an audience. I think if you're like some bands that just do digital stuff and play at home, then I know a few people like this, and then it gets really hard to find the I'm not saying inspiration, but like the motivation to continue doing so, because it's very, very difficult to stand out. For us, I think that's a different story, don't you think, Christoph?
Yeah, indeed. We rehearse, or we try to rehearse weekly. So we meet up a lot. We share ideas. We share a lot of time together. So we're just more than just a band. We've known each other for 15 years, more than 15 years. Okay, Frey, the new guitar player, we know him quite some time as well. So it's always nice and cozy in a way to meet up. It's like friends hanging out and doing the things you love together. On top of that, if you're mentioning the competing part, we never viewed it like that. On the contrary, when we play abroad, we often meet befriended bands where we play together with. So,
but yeah, like you said, it's no competition. It's more like the
cool
Doom
thing.
scene. Yeah, Kurt, you were gone again, so I was taking over. But
yeah, I heard.
So I hoped you wanted to speak about the Doom scene here. That, you know, in a way, you could see us as competition, but yeah, definitely it's not, because we're just, you know, all like-minded people doing what we love. Like the guys of Isium Trist we will see this weekend. Yeah, we know them for also the first time we played together with them was 15 years ago. The guys from My Lament, I don't know if you know the band. If you don't, please check them. We had them on our first festival 15 years ago. So yeah, it's more a family gathering instead of a competition, you know. Also the fans, yeah, there's a lot of fans we know personally, because yeah, that's just how it's a small world. So it gives us a lot of motivation, except from the part that we love being together and working, being creative, of course, but also all the other aspects. It give a lot of you know, give a lot of motivation and oxygen for us to continue doing what we love.
Okay. So we are very well. One of the last questions for this interview. On the other hand, I imagine you must also mention sometimes that your sound is reminiscent of certain bands that may have inspired you. That's normally. But you ever been told that you sound like a certain band when you really don't?
I'm gonna leave it to you, because yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes we get like, oh, you sound like this or that band, and I've never heard of it. But what we usually hear is that people, when they hear us, they say, ah, yeah, reminds me of My Dying Bride, Paradise Lost. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, because they just were the founders of the sound. So, and that's where we got our initial inspiration from. But yeah, well, it's been years since we did something like, oh, let's try something like this or that band. No, I mean, we have been playing together so long that this is our sound, and obviously it can sound like another band, but it's never a copy, never, because most of us even don't listen daily to doom metal. We have other interests in music. Not that we dislike doom metal, of course not, but it's not everyone's favorite genre when playing music at home or in the car or whatever, running, studying, whatever. So no, we don't mind being compared to other bands, but we will never steal other bands' ideas on purpose, or we just do what we like, and this is what you get.
Okay. Well, okay. Thanks for this. Thanks for this answer, Arne. So for this, well, guys, we come to the sad moments of this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview as I did, and thank you very much for your time. This new After the Storm is a tremendous album. Congratulations on this new one. Maybe you have to add something to add to your Latin fans and obviously Metallarium followers.
Yeah, well, our Spanish is below par, so we will not speak in Spanish, but we know there's a lot of people in Latin America that love doom metal and doom death metal. We see other bands that get to play there and that get a lot of attention. We also even had some plans to visit Chile a few years ago with our friends of Poema Arcanus. Well, we definitely hope to come over one day, but yeah, as everybody knows, it's not easy to accomplish this, but it will be on our bucket lists until we get there. And obviously, if people want to check us out, we have quite some back how do you say quite some other albums that are worth checking out, I guess. So yeah, thanks.
Okay.